Good morning, guys. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Ashley. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody who wants to watch. Definitely side note, they're doing construction outside still, so if you hear any background noise, I do apologize in advance for that. But today we're going to be talking about how to live a soft girl life. Out here, I'm trying to have a soft girl summer. I'm trying to just go with the flow. I'm trying to just experience a life of peace. And I recently started implementing new habits and mindsets in my life that have allowed me to align myself with the soft lifestyle. The soft life, I first heard of it on TikTok, just speaking about just living a life of just softness. I guess what you think softness would be. For me, softness looks like just going with the flow, doing things that align with my mind, body, and spirit. For me, that could look like just waking up when I want to, or waking up when my body says, okay, we've rested, let's get up. Not overworking myself, not feeling like I have to be super productive, not feeling like I need to be like, you know, out there and being super active as far as like, damn, it sounds lazy, but just kind of like a soft life. You're going with the flow of your body, you're going with the flow of your mind, you're going with the flow of just like where you are in life right now. To me, it kind of looks like alignment. So I've been implementing a lot of new habits and new mindsets in my life to transition from being like this productive girl to just being a girl who just wants to enjoy the fruitful things of life, who wants to enjoy a life of flow, and just allowing God to provide regardless of what I want for myself. So for those of you who've been following my channel, you know that I quit my job last year. It's coming up on a year next month. But when I was in that space before I quit my job, working a 9 to 5, I was not only working, but I was balancing my business. So my life looked totally different than what it is now. I was super productive. I had to find time to not only be at my job, but once I get off, also have time for my wife, have time to do, you know, my household chores or whatever the case may be, and then also have time to work in my business. So my day would be jam-packed, that I had to plan, I had to be productive, I had to be in like a goal-oriented mindset to make sure that I didn't fall back on, you know, the things that I wanted to accomplish. So I was in the mind frame of go, go, go. You know, I have to get things done. I have to plan every single part of my life. What else? Just being super productive. Not that that's a bad thing, because I think there's benefits and there's healthiness in finding structure, in goal planning. And if you're in that space of being like that goal-oriented go-getter, that's totally awesome. But the only thing that downplayed for me was I was so goal-oriented that it became very toxic, to the point where I guess you could say toxic productivity. Like I was dismissing my own needs, my own self-care, my own personal goals outside of business. I was neglecting things within my relationship and neglecting things within my household because I was so focused on being productive, achieving my goals within my business. My business was the only thing that I was focused on, because I realized I have the type of personality where if there's an issue, I'm totally focused on it and how can I solve this problem. If there's something that I'm trying to accomplish, especially at that period in time when it came to my business, how can I just focus on this business, and I neglect everything around me, which was very toxic. And so I'm kind of shocked that I'm at this place where I'm admittedly willing to share this with you guys, because it was something that was recent and that I'm now just getting over. But I share this with you because adopting a soft lifestyle has actually not only saved my life, but it's embittered the relationships that I have with other people. Because when I was in that space of just focusing on my business, I didn't only not have a relationship with myself, but I didn't really have a lot of relationships with the people around me and that were important to me within my life, because I didn't carve out time to spend time with those people. I also didn't carve out time for myself. I definitely wasn't making sure that I was, you know, I don't know, that I was just thinking about what does Ashley want to do. I just automatically was like, I have to do this, let me get up, let me go. My lifestyle was completely different. I would wake up 30 minutes before it was time for me to go to work, because it was like 5 minutes from where I live. I wouldn't eat, or if I was eating, I would get like a quick oatmeal or something and eat it on the way, or eat it at work. And then I didn't have like a time where I can rest my mind. I just got up, got dressed, grabbed some food, or didn't eat, rushed to the job, and it was just automatically hopping back into work mode. And as soon as I got off, I would probably have like 30 minutes in between, or 30 minutes to an hour, and I would just start working on my start working on my business, or at the time too I was also in school, so working on school, and then I would have a little bit of time to spend with my wife, to cook, to do whatever. And that was not the life that I wanted. Ultimately, my goal was to quit my job, and I'm so glad I did that, because that allowed me to reassess the mindset that I had before working in a 9-to-5, and also the toxic productivity mindset, to unlearn every single thing that I have done and that I've adopted in order to live the lifestyle that I'm living now. So I do acknowledge that I do have a privilege and an opportunity, because I am self-employed, to be a little bit more flexible with my lifestyle, to be more open with what's available to me, because I do have a little bit more freedom in my time outside of those who may be working a 9-to-5. So if you are working a 9-to-5, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's totally awesome if you have a job that is if you have a job that is flexible. If you have a job, especially if you work from home, you might have a little bit more flexibility than someone that goes into the office. I'm a big advocate for finding a job that you love, but also finding a job that fits the lifestyle that you want to live. Or even if it's not at-home job, even if it's a in-office job, how can you turn that into something that works for you? Or if it's an at-home job, how can you turn that something that works for you? I hope that makes sense. So pretty much I'm just saying it's okay if you work a job. There's nothing wrong with that. I think I'm all for finding a job that you love, that is healthy, that is allowing you to use your gifts and do what you love. But I also think you can make it work for you. So if maybe you were like me and you work all the time, and maybe you have a side hustle, maybe you don't, but maybe work is taking up so much of your life, you can always make your job work for you. How can you change your lifestyle? How can you pivot your mind? What are things that you can implement in your lifestyle that doesn't make your job the sole priority? Or what job can you find that will allow you to have the lifestyle that you want? So I say all that to say, the new habits and the mindset that I had to adopt transitioning from being like that productivity Pamela, we'll call her Productive Pam, to like the soft life girl that I am right now, was just like unlearning toxic productivity, unlearning that I don't always have to be doing something. I don't always have to have my hands in all these different pots. And a lot of times why I had that mindset was because I see people around me and what they're doing, and I felt like I had to keep up. So another thing that I had to do was unplug from social media and allow myself not to be up there all the time. Because if I'm going to be up there seeing what other people are doing and comparing myself and feeling like that I need to get ahead of the game or keep up with them, it's going to allow me to have to start feeling like I have to do so many things when those things aren't truly things that I want to do. So a habit that I had to implement outside of, you know, unlearning toxic productivity was to put limits on my phone as far as how long am I spending on these social media apps. I put 1-minute timers on my phone. If you have an iPhone, you're able to set, I forget what it's called, but just like time limits as how long you need to be on the apps. So every single social media app, I put a 1-minute timer. It sounds silly, but it worked for me. So okay, I'm scrolling for 1 minute, and then the timer pops up. Okay, it says like 15 minutes, your time's up or something like that, and you have save, come back later. No, you can click okay, you can click 15 more minutes, or remove timer for the day. And I always hit 15 minutes because I'm just like, okay, cool, 15 minutes to scroll, to do what I need to do, and move on with life. But now I'm also setting intention that I'm not scrolling to compare myself or to look. I'm honestly just checking my messages, looking at, you know, how my content is performing. And then also, if I did want to, there's a couple of people that I really enjoy their content, I'll look at that as well. So I'm looking at it with the intent not to compare or to be nosy to see what other people are doing to compare myself, but honestly just watching content that I enjoy, and also checking up on my content, see how it's performing, and checking my messages and things like that. So that was another thing that I had to do. Also, another thing I had to do was get comfortable with going with the flow. So a big part of the soft life is like, we're not overly productive, we're not like feeling like we need to overwork ourselves. We're really just going with what feels natural to us. So working a job for me was not feeling, it doesn't feel natural to me. It doesn't feel natural for me to work an 8-hour shift, going into the office every day, and feeling like I need to go. That's pretty, I hope that makes sense. Like the lifestyle that I want to live, I want to wake up when I want to wake up. I only probably want to work 2 to 3 hours a day, maybe 3 days a week, 3 to 4 days a week, and be able to dedicate the rest of my day to doing what I want to do, whether that's walking in the park, enjoying tea on my patio, journaling, going out with my friends, spending time with my wife, going to the grocery store in the middle of the day, going to the movies in the middle of the day. Like, I am now prioritizing the things that I want to enjoy versus trying to fill my gaps with working on my business. Because when I was working a 9 to 5, the free time that I had, I worked on my business. So I didn't have hobbies. I didn't know what I like to do. So now that I'm stepping into this self-employment realm, I can now do those things. And a part of that was allowing myself to go with the flow. So I decided to change my lifestyle from working to working for myself, because it gave me, not only was I wanted to run my business full time, but a main core piece was because I wanted to create a lifestyle that I can go with the flow. I wanted to do something that allowed me to honor my body in a way that I can't do at work. If I'm lightheaded, so because I was working my job, I wasn't eating in the mornings because I didn't really give myself time to have breakfast. I was feeling lightheaded, I was stressed, I was tired. I didn't have the time to let me stop and meditate, let me stop and do, you know, breathing exercises, or just take the moment to collect myself. Now that I know that now I'm working on my own, if I'm in a stressful situation when I'm working in my business, I can take the time aside and be like, you know what, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling stressed, let me go meditate, let me go, you know, relax for a little bit and take my mind off these things. So I wanted to allow myself to have the freedom to go with the flow, honor my body in ways that I haven't been able to before. Also, another thing that I was able to do in order to incorporate new habits was to wake up every morning when my body felt well rested. So I think a lot of times we feel like, just coming from like the girl boss era, like where we have to be, and it's funny because TikTok's like, being a girl boss is toxic, which is so crazy, because in the early 2010s, in the early 2010s when I was in college, I was pursuing, you know, being this entrepreneur. Girl Boss came out, the book, and everybody wants to be a girl boss. It was planning, it was goal oriented, it was go-getter and stuff like that. And so now for me, I'm now understanding what they're saying, like the girl boss mentality can have toxic traits. And so a part of that was, damn, I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Was starting my day when I want to start my day. And I think a part of the girl boss era, within the girl boss era, not only in my life but in like cultural life, it was like, you need to wake up early at 5:30, go to the gym, you know, make sure you're drinking your shakes. Then you need to, you know, write down your goals, which is totally, there's nothing wrong with that. If that is you, more power to you. But honey, I cannot get up at no 5:30. And I've realized that my natural flow, my natural body wakes up between 8 and 9 o'clock, sometimes even 10. And I had to accept, like, I don't need to wake up at 5:30 to be productive. I don't need to have a shake every morning. I don't need to write down my goals every morning to be the person that I want to be. It may work for other people, but for me, I had to realize, like, that's not what comes natural to me and flows. So for me, I started adopting, okay, I'm gonna wake up when my body feels rested, or wake up at a time where I feel well rested and productive. That doesn't mean that I don't set an alarm. Some people that are implementing the soft life wake up when their body can, but I'm not there, because I'll probably be sleeping till 1 o'clock and I still want to accomplish certain things. So I think it's important to acknowledge that, yes, I'm going with the flow, but there are certain structures set in place, so I'm still able to accomplish the things that I need to accomplish, because I still have things to do, right? I still have, you know, business, I still have projects, I still have business clients that I have to attend to. I still have, you know, just things in life that require discipline, that require, you know, deadlines and certain things like that. So I still give myself almost like a window. So I'll set my alarm for maybe 8, but I might not get out of bed till 9, because I want to give myself that time to wake up, to rest, to, you know, talk to God, to just make sure my body is reset in order for me to get out of bed. Because I was so used to previously just the alarm gets up and I get up out of bed and my mind is frantic and my body's kind of in a shock almost, because I heard the alarm and now I'm just like on go versus allowing my body to wake up, to replenish, to refresh, and get ready to get out of the bed. Then from there, after I get out of the bed, I'll stretch. So do a couple yoga moves or whatever, stretch my body, get up, and I'll get some tea. Got my tea here now. and also take the time to just spend time with God and to self-reflect. I have a devotional that I do, which I love, because you read a scripture, read something that's reflective, and then you have a journal prompt that you fill out. And then I also have a gratitude journal that allows me to be focused on what I'm thankful for and grateful for the day. So instead of waking up and feeling negative, which a lot of negativity came from that lifestyle that I used to live, I now can focus on being grateful, allowing God to pour into me, pray for the day and pray for the intentions that I want to accomplish today, and then go on about my merry way. And I found that that works for me, because when I wake up and don't do that, my day is it's all crazy, or I'm annoyed and I'm frustrated because I have to wake up, or because I got up. But when I start my time with God, it comes from a place of peace, and I'm able to flow for the day. It sets the not the standard, but it sets my day. It sets me to come from a place of peace and joy whenever I do things. So that's something I implemented. Now I'm going to look at my notes, because I know I've been rambling for like 15 minutes. But not only, outside of that, I also do yoga and meditation. So that's something that I do from time to time to set my mornings, because it allows me to just relax, to focus. I also like to listen to lo-fi music when I'm getting up for the day and making my tea, cooking, yeah, preparing breakfast. So that way I'm still in a, I don't know, like in my mind, peace is like soft, sultry music, jazz music. So I like to keep stuff like that flowing, because it kind of allows me to like romanticize my life. Like, oh my God, I'm this soft girl, I'm listening to soft music, drinking my tea. Like, it just feels like a life of flow. What else? Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Also, taking care of myself. So when I was in that girl boss mindset, that's what I'm gonna call it, the girl boss mindset, I was not taking care of myself. It was just strictly about business for me. I wasn't doing anything like, and I probably even looked like I didn't take care of myself. I wasn't taking care of my hair. I wasn't taking care of my skin. I wasn't watching what I ate. I wasn't making sure that the relationships in my life were being poured into, because I was just strictly focused on this business. And all in all, I lost myself. And so in order to find myself, I prioritized my self-care. I had to make sure that I was good before I decided to give to anyone else. And a beautiful thing that I've heard before was just giving from your overflow, right? So when we think about just the whole concept of, you know, the cup being half full or half empty, instead of looking at it half full, fill it all the way up until it overflows, and you give from the overflow. You don't give from what's in your cup, because that what's in the cup is for you, but everything else pouring over, you have enough for everyone else. And so for me, that looked like making sure that I'm taking care of myself through journaling, like I said, yoga and meditation. Now I also get like get facials. I got my first facial the other day, and it felt so amazing to just take care of myself and be pampered. I get massages now. My friend, she put me onto this thing called sauna, almost like, well, yeah, it's a sauna, but now you can go to these different sessions. There's a specific place, and you can go in pods and just relax. It's the best thing ever. Also, just like getting my nails done, making me feel cute, just doing things for myself that make me feel good about myself and allow me to pour back into me and love on me. Because sure, you know, although I'm in a relationship, my wife isn't responsible for loving on me. I'm responsible for loving on myself. And so in order to feel like I have enough to give everyone, I have to nurture me, whether it's physically, through just pampering myself, mentally through just like reflecting and journaling, spiritually, whether it's prayer, meditation, time with God. I have to make sure that I am aligned with me before I can even go out into the world and pour into other relationships or projects or clients, or share my creativity with even you guys, before I can honestly, you know, pour out to y'all. So a part of making sure that I'm living a life of soft, life of flow, was making sure that I took care of myself, because most importantly, I need to take care of me. But when I was in that girl boss era, I was taking care of business instead of taking care of myself. So that was prioritizing myself. And lastly, the last thing I wrote, because I wrote down notes. Oh, I'm obsessed with the thought of putting minimal effort into things but having maximal rewards. And so when I say that, if you know, you know, because I spend a lot of time on TikTok, but for the girlies who don't get it, when I say that, I mean like, okay, so from the framework of business, right, I honestly don't enjoy working. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. That doesn't mean that I don't love what I do, but I honestly don't like working to get a check, right? I don't like working with the intent of trying to just, the mentality of working just to make money. I honestly just want to do things because I love them and the money will flow. That's the mindset that I adopted. So for me, that looks like not having to do so much work just to get a maximum monetary reward. I don't want to have to work 8 hours like I mentioned before. I don't want to have to work 40 hours a week. I don't want to have to feel like I have to complete all these tasks in order to get this maximum reward of just a bunch of money. So I really want to start just taking on more passive income that requires less work with a maximum amount of reward at the end being, okay, so maybe I can, I don't know, for example, I don't do this and I'm not interested, but for example, drop shipping is a passive income that a lot of people encourage people to do that requires minimal work and you get a maximum reward. So you automatically, you're selling things online, but you're not the person packaging the things that you're selling and shipping them off. You automatically have a third-party company that's doing it for you. So all you do is set up your shop, market it, but you don't have to do a lot of things, but you get a bunch of money in return. So that's the mentality that I'm having when it comes to my business, as far as I want to start having passive streams of income that don't require me to work all the time, that don't require me to be in front of the computer, that don't require me to have to you know, clock in and clock out on a daily basis, and be able to live my life and enjoy the luxurious things that I want to do, whether it's traveling or spending time with my family or just having more time for myself. So that way I'm still prioritizing me. I think I realized my ambition before in my girl boss era was focused on, I want to be this girl boss entrepreneur, and now that I've gotten here, it's now shifting. Now that I'm in that place, I have more time to focus on enjoying life, and I'm really passionate about just enjoying life, because life is short, and just going with the flow. So a part of that for me was making sure that mainly the habits I had to change were within my business, because my business was the place where I had to work. And so I found myself in the beginning still carrying that 9-to-5 mentality, as far as, okay, in order for me to make a lot of money, I need to do a lot of work. So I had a lot of clients in the beginning, and I was making good money, but I was stressed. I had to balance a bunch of people. I was putting in more hours than even a normal person that does a full-time job would put in. Just from the standard 40-hour work week. I know that there's some people that work longer than that, but for me, the standard 40-hour work week, I was working more than that. And people are like, you know, as an entrepreneur, you know, I'm working 25. Hey, you never stop clock out your business. This girl's gonna clock out of her business. She's not going to be thinking about it at night. She's not going to be wanting to work all day around the clock, because that's not the mentality that I want to carry. Maybe the girl boss mindset is, although you work for yourself, you working all the time, although you know you need to grind, there's 24 hours in a day, Beyonce only has 24 hours. That's not me. Your girl wants to live a soft life, so she's like, okay, I'm not gonna work that much. Maybe I want to work 2 to 3 hours a day. Maybe I want to work 2 days a week. If I want to, I have the freedom to do so. So in order to do that, I had to let go of the workloads, the projects, any clients that took up so much of my time, to finally getting to just, okay, yeah. So I had to release the projects, the clients, the tasks, and the things that I have that took up so much of my time and were stressing and overwhelming me, so that I was able to align myself with that mentality of the minimal work, maximum reward. So I was able to, you know, pivot in my business to the point where I'm not working so much as I used to. I am also getting a maximum reward, not only a monetary reward, but I'm also giving my gifts out to the point where I'm seeing the fruits of my labor and the impact that I'm making on my clients and within my scope of business. So I say all that to say, in adjusting my lifestyle, and adjusting my habits, and adjusting how I approach business and approach life, I was able to pivot from being this toxic productive girl boss to this intentional soft girl who wants to go with the flow, who wants to enjoy life, who wants to still do what she loves to do, but not from the perspective of traditional work. She still wants to have freedom to maybe get coffee with her girls in the middle of the day, you know, go on a date night, plan a spontaneous trip with her wife. She wants to just, you know, just pamper herself and be, you know, I don't know, let's just soft girl. So we're living a soft girl summer. I am in my soft girl era. If you want to be on your soft girl era, or you're in your soft girl era, join me on this journey. I might start I do want to start vlogging. I can't make no promises, but let me know how y'all feel if I do like soft girl vlogs. Like, it's just a soft girl summer series and I just take you guys with me to, like, I don't know, the spa or like weekend trips or stuff like that. I think it'll be something cute. If you are just starting your journey and maybe you are in a mindset of just being overwhelmed and overworked and, you know, super productive, don't be so hard on yourself. It's okay to be that person, but if you find that it's detrimental to who you are, give yourself grace. Don't feel like you need to change everything right away. Start with one thing. So like I said before, for me, it was making sure that I have more time in the morning to give to myself. So maybe instead of like getting up when the alarm starts and get ready for work, maybe you wake up a little earlier, or you take a little bit more time somewhere in your day to self-reflect and have time for yourself, and then you go from there. Then maybe you'll eventually you know, start working on other things, if that makes sense. So one step at a time. Don't be so hard on yourself. Be graceful. Not be graceful. Give yourself grace. If you are living the soft life, girl, join our tribe. I'm so excited to see you. Let me know in the comments what you're doing to live a soft life, and also allow the other girlies that want to live the soft life. It'll inspire them and give them a little bit tips on how they can do so themselves. So I thank you guys for watching so much. I love y'all, and I'll see you in the next video.